Hello again, beautiful souls. It's me, Amanda, with Anna Cara Messages. Um, just bear with me because it's been a couple of weeks since a video and everything's changed. So I think it's all in flow. I'm really getting guided, strong impulse to come on and, talk about where our focus is. What are we focusing on? Um, because more and more it's becoming apparent to me that we seem to be almost conditioned to focus on the things we don't want, to notice all of the things that bother us, and we spend an awful lot of energy then focused on the things we do not want. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll have heard me talk about the universal laws, and in particular the universal law of attraction, that magnetic pull. Whatever we're focused on, whatever vibrational frequency of feeling, emotion that we are sitting in, that's actually what we emit as energetic beings. And as a result, we call to us more experiences of that same feeling, vibration, frequency. Um, and I always hold my hand up and admit I have not mastered this myself. Um, I've been learning this lesson again for myself recently. You'll have heard me mention, amazing improvements in my health, and I had a little bit of a setback, and of course I got distracted and I got focused on the problems instead of remembering to appreciate all the good things that are in my life too. And I really noticed the snowball effect. Um, and it really hit me the other day, when I saw that there'd been a letter discovered that Beaumont Hospital were going to remove anybody from the transplant list if they haven't taken the vaccine. And of course, that promoted a huge burst of fear and anxiety in me. And like, touch wood, thank God, at the moment, I don't need to be on that list. But that's something that I've been told is guaranteed to me um, for a long time. And although I took a little bit of a swing, well, I took a big swing away from being put on the list, um, you know, I got, I did get frightened because with my blood pressure spiking and, you know, I got distracted for a moment in not feeling too good and the fear of what is going to happen. Hi, Bernie. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Um, now, I was doing my best to counter the fear, and again, forgetting. It's all about surrendering and having faith in the divine. It's about, relaxing, going within, breathing softly, and finding that wonderful center, that equilibrium, that balance within. And again, as as much as I talk about, you know, choosing these to focus on what we appreciate in the higher frequencies, I'm still human, just like everybody else, and I do get distracted sometimes by these fear frequencies. And you know, that letter really threw me for a loop. And then I was told that it has been retracted, and of course that they won't discriminate against people. Um, by denying them transplants if they haven't agreed or if they haven't received the vaccine. Um, and it really kind of rattled me because although I'm not an anti-vaxxer, I've had plenty of vaccines. The flu vaccine is one that is always just it didn't feel right for me, and every year when it's offered to me, I refuse it. And it's never been a problem. And I've never been told I won't be allowed to eat indoors as a result of that choice, or, all of these other rules that are coming out now to cause divide and separation among people. Um, and again, it's been a challenge for me to try and find my equilibrium again between little health issues starting to, distract me. And then seeing other things on the news, that add to that fear. And it has taken me a couple of days to try and rein it back in and come back to that place of feeling safe again. And remembering that, I do have a right to choose for myself what feels right for me. And again, I am responsible for any consequences of my choices. Um, and I've been working on getting my focus back onto all the things that I do appreciate about my life. And thankfully, I'm feeling strong and well again. Amazingly, my blood pressure is balancing out again. And it's just a big reminder for me that I wanted to share with you all of the importance of where we're focusing, what are we focusing on, and how are we feeling about the things we are focusing on, because it really does play a huge part in how we feel, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Um, and something that has been coming through a lot, and I think it's a message for somebody because I don't actually know anybody in this particular situation. And again, it ties in again with where is our focus? And that's on the topic of adoption. And what keeps coming in, it feels to me like somebody is terrified that their child is searching for their birth mother, or the birth mother is looking to connect with the child that they offered up for adoption. And, most of the time we hear people talking about these subjects in fear. Hi, Eve, welcome in. Or, it's dramatized in shows and movies. And, again, it's fear based. The focus is all on the fear. What am I going to lose? And, it's like, how can we never hear anybody go, oh my God, I might finally get to meet this wonderful person who gave me the greatest gift of all, a child. To offer a child up for adoption is a very, very difficult choice for anybody. And again, I cannot speak from experience from this, but it's not a decision that's made lightly. And for a lot of people who've gone through the process, they do it because they feel their child will get the best chance in life that they can. And then the people who are seeking to adopt a child, this precious gift of having a child to raise? It's such a wonderful thing. So, why then is the focus automatically put into the negative, heavier vibrations instead of staying in this wonderful vibration of appreciation? Somebody looking to get in contact, is this not a wonderful opportunity to say, oh my God, it is so good to meet you. Thank you for giving me the greatest gift of all. But yet, magazines, books, TV shows, films, they always seem to portray it in the total opposite of, oh my God, everything's going to go wrong and it's all going to be terrible. But what if it's wonderful? And it's again, it's back, and I know I beat the same drum, and this has come through in other videos. But where is our focus? What is our go-to reaction? And and again, I haven't mastered this. I've stumbled recently, but I'm finding my equilibrium again. And yes, there's always going to be the distraction. There's always going to be things that, trigger a sense of fear or anxiety around us. But we all have the free will to choose whether we feed that fear and anxiety or that anger. Again, I'm getting an image of, I think there's an image with an old Native American proverb about the two wolves, a light one and a dark one, and a little boy asking his grandfather, you know, which one wins? They're in this constant battle. And the answer is whichever one you choose to feed. So when you're experiencing life, are you going to choose to feed the anxiety, the fear, the anger, the frustration, the heavier frequencies? Or are you going to go, okay, I see it, but I know my life experience and everything in my existence improves when I choose to feed the higher, lighter frequencies, and thereby looking for things to appreciate and feel good about. And look, it's hard. You can't go from, oh my God, to bounce off the wall happy in the blink of an eye, you know, but with practice, and it does take practice. You can take little steps that can take you from total overwhelm and anxiety to kind of a little bit of a sense of relief, and, step by step, bring yourself back to a position where you can then tune in and feel the higher vibrational frequencies, for yourself. And, sometimes it's like, people come to this awareness and they think, right, this is all we have to do. It's that simple. But, it's a bit like going to a gym. You don't go to a gym. You don't sign up this morning, spend an hour there and come out like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It takes practice. You have to decide, set your intention. What is it you want to do? How are you going to work out? And, for me, spiritual practice and awareness and, you know, applying it to improve my daily life, it really does boil down to practice, practice, practice. And which is why I'll keep putting my hand up. I haven't mastered this. I'm learning so much. And, interactions with people just, they forever amaze me. And sometimes they really uplift me. I've had a couple of calls from people this week, just thanking me for being me, and for things that they're long distant in the past. But again, it's bringing my awareness back to the ripple effect, that pebble in the pond, how a little bit of kindness can do so much for others. We don't even necessarily even know it in the moment or ever find out. But every act of kindness actually has a ripple effect. You never know how much another person needs your kindness or, just a nice word or a smile in any given moment. Um, and I don't even know where this is going today, but bear with me. And it's just reminded me and made me once again more aware to pay close attention to what I'm focusing on. And, I'm learning that my conversations and discussing topics like this and my musings and wonderings sometimes can have an impact because so many people, I hear the words regularly as, oh, I never looked at it that way. I never thought of it that way before. And, it's just a reminder that there's so many more perspectives available to us than the one we are looking through right now. There are many ways of looking at things, and I'm learning to, when I'm noticing something, particularly if it's kind of rattling me in any way, it's to try and take a step back and breathe. And again, I've spoken in other videos about the importance of conscious breathing. And again, through breathing, it nourishes the body, it, gets more oxygen around, it helps pump the blood. Breathing is one of the most powerful things and most beneficial things we can do for ourselves. And yet most of us are shallow breathing, or we kind of nearly hold our breath when we're experiencing, especially unpleasant situations or, anything of a heavier frequency like anxiety or fear. And, through breathing and just taking a step back and asking the question, is there any other way I could view this situation? Or are there other options available to me? Because usually there are, but we get so caught up in the that we freeze in the perspective of the moment rather than expanding our awareness of the situation. And, I really have come to learn when I just take those few breaths, like it really does work and step back, solutions always come. And as I see things starting to unfold, that fuels my passion and, my trust that, it is safe for me to have faith that God, the universe, whatever you are comfortable with, but that there is a divine higher power that is forever working in my favor. And in order to receive, it is up to me to keep my frequency high and receptive and open. But when I get distracted in the fear, the anxiety, and the heavier frequencies, and anger, and things like that, and frustration, and like I feel it in my body. I tense up, my shoulders tighten, I kind of curl in on myself instead of just being free and open. And, when I'm speaking with other people, they're also validating that this really does work. And it's so simple. And again, there is no quick fix and a switch you can flick. You have to choose. And again, I've given that image again of a Native American with a light wolf and a dark wolf, and the wording, which one are you going to feed? You get to choose. You have the power to choose in every moment. And again, a death and rebirth cycle. Sorry, I'm saying that. Is it the Ouroboros, like a snake eating its tail, in my mind at the moment? And again, that's been coming an awful lot lately. And there's so much fear around death, but every moment, every day, we wake up and we're a new person. We are not the person we were last night going to bed. Or at least, sorry, we weren't the person we were yesterday morning when we woke up. Because every experience and conversation throughout the day that we have changes us. We learn something new, or we gain a new understanding, or different things happen. So you go to bed at night different to how you were when you woke. And each day, like, that is a death and rebirth cycle. Endings and new beginnings, and again, endings are never really endings because we live in an infinite universe of infinite abundance, and our souls are eternal. We live on. So, technically speaking, there is no death, yet there's so much fear around that. Yes, the body may expire, but we live on. Our souls are eternal. And there's an awful lot of light workers I've encountered, and it's like, oh, I'm not coming back again. This is my last life. I'm done. And sometimes I kind of feel, if that's how you're perceiving it and how you're choosing to look at it, you're not actually aligning with yourself, because when you feel the alignment and you feel that universal, divine, unconditional love, and you feel all that is available to us, you understand that all the terrible things that are going on around us, we will come back again every time. Because by being yourself, by choosing to feed the lighter frequencies, by choosing to tune in and keep your own frequency as high as possible, that ripples out. There's a cartoon image I saw somewhere, maybe on Facebook, because it's the only other social media I have. And, one person is yellow, everybody else is in white. But when they move into the crowd, the yellow starts to expand. And again, your light spreads. The high vibrational stuff spreads. If I was to strike a match right here, right now, it wouldn't have a massive impact. But in the pitch dark tonight, if I was to strike a match, it would light this entire cottage for me well, not the entire cottage, but the room. You know what I mean? Like, the light, high vibration frequencies are very powerful at dispelling and dispersing the heavier, denser, darker ones. And, it's like when we transition, we nearly fall over ourselves to come back in again. Because what we're actually doing, somebody asked me this question last night, like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And again, look, I don't know if anybody has that full answer. But what comes to me and what really resonates and feels right for me is that when we work on our own frequency, if we can be the best version of ourselves and really every day strive to be whoever you want to be. And for me, I choose to feed the white wolf, the higher vibrational frequencies. I look for things to appreciate and feel good about. And in doing so, that keeps me in a good vibration. I have more vitality, more energy, And again, like I said, I got distracted recently, and we do hit bumps in the road. So, and I was feeding the fear. I got so focused on what I was afraid of and upset by that I forgot to maintain my balance by keeping my energy tuned into the good feeling frequencies. And again, it's all about balance and harmony. So when we do that for ourselves, our vibration rises. And there's more and more people around the world who are starting to come into this awareness and this realization and are doing this for themselves. And again, they're being kind to others. They're trying to share the wisdom that they're gaining, and they're trying to uplift and inspire others. So collectively, every time we do our own individual work and raise a frequency collectively, that ripples out. It's like the pebble in the pond. And then more and more people are awakening and starting to make these choices for themselves, and are seeing improvements in their lives as a result. And you see, as the frequency is rising, every new soul, every new child born is actually entering a world of a much higher vibration than the one we entered when we were born. And for me, and again, this is just my understanding, I'm not saying this is the be all and end all, but I really feel a resonance of truth in my understanding of this. And I've already noticed more and more young people coming into the awareness that myself at 47 and some of my other friends, who we'd all be, the guts of half a century here. And we're only starting to discover and awaken to all of this possibility and potential and understanding. And yet there's so many young people starting to get to that point. And I remember initially kind of feeling a little bit triggered. It's like, it's not fair. How can you have that awareness already when it's taken me so long to get here? And then it's like, no, Amanda, relax. Again, that's triggers. That's stuff, again, old conditioning, old patterns and behaviors that we've picked up. And it's like I took that breath and I stepped back and I went, wow, isn't it amazing? Isn't it just wonderful that young adults have already gained a level of awareness that has taken so many of us till now to discover? And imagine how far they will be on their spiritual journey by the time they get to my age. Like, this is incredible. This is something really, really wonderful. And as this is happening more and more, and there's more authentic conversations starting to happen, this is also having an impact. So literally every day, the collective frequency, the more we go within and do our own inner work, the collective frequency is rising, which means every soul, every newborn coming in is coming in to a higher vibration. And really, if you think about that for a moment and let that sink in, within a generation or two, we literally could be living, in heaven on earth, as more awareness comes in, as more compassion for others, becomes the go-to, rather than the conditioned, focus on everything that frightens us and scares us. This new awareness of learning to discern, hang on a minute, and understanding that we have the free will to choose whether we feed those energies or whether we acknowledge it and then look for solutions. Because when we're problem focused, things can't improve. But one thing I have learned is there is a solution to every problem. As long as I don't get lost and distracted in focusing on the problem. This is about not burying your head in the sand. It's about being aware and acknowledging there's something going on. But rather than getting lost in it, it's choosing to have faith that there is a solution and that you will find a solution and that things will balance out again. And, for me personally, it's making such a huge difference in my life. And, I trust that by sharing some of these experiences and some of my musings and wonderings and conversations that I've had with other people, it might just give you pause for thought. Because I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. The only thing I will ever tell someone to do is to tune in and listen to themselves. What does your gut say? What do you feel about it? Because it's not for me to tell anybody else what is right or wrong for them, for only they know. Just like I no longer allow people to tell me what is right or wrong for me, because I have learned to tune in and I can feel it. You know, and again, I may have mentioned this on another video or two. If I haven't, I'll be surprised, because it's something I say on a regular basis to people. You know, anything that is right for you, there's no doubt or hesitation. You just know it's right and you go for it with gusto. But when we've doubt and hesitation, that's usually our soul guidance going, there's another solution, there's a better way. And that's when we start, lifting the phone, calling friends, and, asking other opinions, what do you think? But we're not listening to ourselves. And instead, we give our power away to these other people who then voice their opinions. And, for a lot of people, their opinions, they voice their own projections of fear, or that didn't work for me, so it can't work for you. But you see, just because somebody else didn't succeed at something, that doesn't mean that you won't, and so many people don't reach for their dreams and aspirations based on other people's opinion, or somebody knows somebody who tried that and it didn't work. And I think, sorry, is it Roger Bannister? Sorry, the man that ran the 4 minute mile, he was told it couldn't be done. Everyone said it couldn't be done, but he believed it could, and he trusted himself. And he broke that record with the 4 minute mile. And I think, now again, I could be wrong, but again, this is explanation. I don't need to have the exact details. But within a year, more people had actually run a 4 minute mile. And why? Because they now knew it could be done. And now I think, I don't know, it could be 1,500 or more. Again, check the figures. It's not about the figures. It's about the fact that, you know, believe in yourself, not what other people tell you. Because if Roger Bannister had listened to other people, he'd have given up and he'd have not run that 4 minute mile. But by doing so, he lit the way for others to then go, it can be done. And they too did it. Like, this is why it's really important to stop allowing other people's opinions tell you what to do, because your own guidance, and this is where tuning in, knowing yourself, knowing what you feel, how you feel about different situations. And again, ask yourself the question about your beliefs. Are they your beliefs, or are they beliefs that you have absorbed through your own family or friends? Because that's a big thing. And again, for me, and I may have shared this one before as well, I truly believed I hated cats, because I grew up in a household where we always had dogs, and everybody around us, extended family, friends, they were all dog people. So sometimes they'd let a dog out if they saw a cat, and it was like, get the cats. And there was all these negative connotations around cats. So I absorbed that, and I genuinely thought I hated cats till I had to cat sit one day for a neighbour. And I was in feeding the cat and, changing the litter tray and doing that for a week. And I'm like, why do I think I don't like these animals? Because I didn't actually have a problem with cats at all. That was just something I had absorbed growing up, and I adopted as my own belief, but it actually wasn't mine. It was other people's. And, I think it's really, really crucial that when we're going within, we really do go within and ask ourselves, who are we? What do we believe? And is it our own beliefs, or is it somebody else's that's being put upon us that we've absorbed? Um, and again, I'm not telling you what to do, but if this is resonating with you at all, well, maybe it might be worthwhile for you to take some time, go within and ask yourself, who am I? What do I believe? How do I feel about all sorts of different situations and things? Because when we open up and start speaking honestly and having discussions about these things honestly, rather than just spouting what we've always heard or we're hearing other people say, sometimes just perceptions start to grow and change. And we gain deeper understandings. And again, I know I have. Um, so, sorry, I've just gone blank all of a sudden. So I think I'm just going to pull a card or two and just see if Spirit has anything to add. So let's see what's calling me. I think this one. So The Angels of the Light deck by Diana Cooper. Now, is there anything more you wish me to say in this video? Is there anything you wish me to say? Do you have anything else for the collective? Okay. So, and that one's not going in. Archangel Raphael and light. Light illuminates darkness and gloom, bringing hope and inspiration. This is like the match in a darkened room. Ask the angels to fill you with more light, for it contains spiritual information and knowledge. These are keys to the universe and bring love and peace, as well as unlocking the wisdom within you. As your light becomes stronger and clearer, you will find clarity and purpose. You will radiate brightly and become a beacon, reminding others of the divine help available. Angel wisdom suggests you ask the angels to ignite and strengthen the divine flame within you. And an affirmation that goes with this card is, I am a light. And as I was reading that, I got an image to mind of a young man who called me this week, thanking me for, all I'd done for him over the years. And, I didn't really feel that I'd done that much. I was just being kind. But for him, the impact has been phenomenal. And it has led him to his own awakening and awareness. And, he is now helping others. And he just emphasized for me that importance. Like, I've been dismissing it, what I do, who I am, because again, I don't fit in a box, but I don't need to. That's the thing. None of us need to fit in a box. You just need to be you. And by being your authentic self and shining your light and sharing your light, and again, I've spoken before, it's about keeping your light overflowing, because when there's enough, there's enough to share. I'm not talking about pouring all your energy into others, because that depletes you and goes out of balance. But the light, when we feed our own white wolf, the light wolf, when we keep our focus on the light frequencies, that keeps our own cup overflowing, and then others benefit as a direct result. And that young lad has just demonstrated that for me. That ripple effect, that me holding space and being there for him when he was very vulnerable and he needed somebody to talk to without being judged or criticized, but just to be heard, to feel seen, heard, and understood. That allowed him then to process his emotions and figure out his journey and, free himself from the shadows of the heavier frequencies and walk in light. And now he is noticing how he is sharing that and doing that for others also. People are coming back to him saying, thank you, you've no idea, that conversation we had has made such a difference. And it's like, it's just that reminder of, just be you. Be your authentic self. let your light shine, because it really, really does make a difference. It is making a difference. And if you look, and see, that's the thing, I'm getting the word seek and you shall find. If you look, you will see evidence of this everywhere. And yes, if you look for the shadow, you will see that too, because we do live in that world of duality. But again, it's back to, where is our focus? What are we going to choose to focus on? Are we going to focus and, as such, pour our energy into the darkness, into the heavy, denser frequencies that we don't want in our lives? Or instead, are we going to acknowledge it and trust that there's a solution, take our focus and attention off it, and just take step by step as we're guided, because solutions will come, inspiration will come, and we will find our way through. And, if you're doubting this, just take a moment to breathe. You've already gotten this far. Solutions always came. Every hurdle and challenge you faced, you found a way through. There is always a way. And once you really truly understand that and start to have faith in that, it gets a little bit easier and easier. And again, there will be wobbles along the way. I've had them myself in the last couple of weeks. I really did get distracted. And see, that's the thing. The heavier, denser frequencies, they can be very distracting. But you're stronger. You have the choice. Always remember, you have the free will to choose. Are you going to choose to focus on what you don't want and thereby start vibrating and resonating in those frequencies and call more to you? Or are you going to go, see you, familiar with you, don't really want to engage in that, and I know there's a solution to this, so it'll come. Now, when I was putting those cards back into their holder, this one didn't go, so I'm going to give it as well. And it is the card of Archangel Raphael. And this card says, you are blessed to attract this angel card, for Archangel Raphael brings health, healing, and abundance. He will help you to develop your intuition and your inner vision. Call on him if you need help in these areas now. He also protects travelers during journeys. So this is a fortuitous card if you are about to travel. If you are a healer or wish to be one, Archangel Raphael will direct pure divine energy to you. He works on the green ray of healing and balance. So visualize yourself surrounded by a clear green light and invoke its guidance. And the affirmation with this card is, I am happy, healthy, and abundant. And as I was reading that, and what's coming in is really strong is your free will. Because you were gifted with free will, you need to remember to ask. The angels and your guides and all these light beings, they're always there to guide us and assist us. But sometimes we forget about our free will. It's very easy to go, oh, they're there, but we have to request their assistance with whatever situation we need. And, somebody was asking me recently, what's my interpretation of how they help? And for me, it's like, again, it's all frequency. So if I'm struggling with something and I call on Archangel Raphael, which I happened to do the other day, so I love that he's come out. So this is a validation for me as well as a message for others. But again, when we call on them, they lend us, they share some of their vibration with us, which thereby raises our frequency and gives us a boost. And I'm very, very grateful and appreciative for all the angelic help that I get. And like that, sometimes I need somebody to remind me to ask, because asking for help is not something I've ever been comfortable with. I find it easier to ask spirit for help than I do, my people friends, but I am learning and I am getting better at it. The affirmation with this is, I am happy, healthy, and abundant. And again, thankfully, after a rocky few weeks, I genuinely am feeling happy, healthy, and abundant again. I don't know, I've been getting flashes at the back of the Healing with the Angels deck now as well. So I assume there's something in this. And then I'm going to go because there's a field of horses I want to go down and spend some time in. Because that's something that nourishes my soul. And again, the last couple of weeks have also taught me, to remember to maintain my own balance and equilibrium. It's all well and good to be helping people, which I love to do, but not, it affects me if I end up pouring from my cup instead of keeping my cup overflowing. It has a direct impact on me. And for me personally, one of the best ways of having my cup overflow is to go down and spend some time down the road with those magnificent animals. Just being with them and feeling their trust, and they're just so loving and affectionate, and I feel so privileged to spend time with them that it lights me up. I feel something in my chest kind of expand, and again, that's my way of keeping myself in the higher vibrations that my cup is overflowing. So, hanging with the angels, is there a final message before I go? I seem to be falling face down today, so no idea. Freedom. Now, freedom. This card now talks to me. And again, for many of you, you've done an awful lot of work. Again, the nudity. There's a lot of clearing being done. There's still, she's covered from the waist down in blue. And again, blue for me is all about communication and the throat chakra. So again, it's about, having the freedom to express yourself, be yourself. Don't be swayed by others chattering in your ear. Break free and stand in your own power, in your own authenticity. There's no masks. Be who you truly are. And again, you've great support. What's there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 angels, and then there's even more in the background. You are being divinely guided, and you have freedom always, even when it doesn't always feel that way. Sometimes we can feel trapped by our circumstances, but we always have the freedom to choose how we look at it, how we perceive it. Sometimes we cannot change an actual circumstances in our physical environment. And when that occurs, we still have the freedom to choose how we view it. And sometimes just accepting your surroundings instead of fighting against it can actually bring massive relief. Because again, there's less resistance and we start to feel better. And in the surrendering and accepting of certain circumstances, we feel better, which means our frequency rises. So, again, when you're back in those frequencies, it's easier for the solutions to come. And it's all about having faith and trust in the divine, that help is always available, but you do need to ask for it. You have the gift of free will. Remember to use it. And you can never ask too much. I know sometimes when it comes to asking people for help, we don't want to. Spirit doesn't judge. Spirit doesn't hold a scorecard and go, you owe me. In spiritual realms, help is available, unlimited help. There's so much abundance of assistance available to you. You don't need to feel guilty for asking. Ask freely. You have the freedom to choose. So use your freedom. And, if you're struggling in a situation, ask your angels and guides to help you find a better way of perceiving it, a better way of looking at it. Ask your angels to help you find the silver lining, because there is always a silver lining in every situation. And you see, when we see it, there's that sense of, and again, the vibration rises. So you're much more powerful than you realize. You just need to remember who you are and remember to use your free will. You have the free will to choose. Do you want to choose to feed? And again, I get the flash of the 2 wolves again. Do you want to feed the dark one, the anger, frustration, resentment, worry, all that heavier, ickier stuff? Or do you want to feed the light one with the joy, the abundance, the passion, the excitement, anticipation, all those good feeling, health and vitality frequencies? The choice is yours, and you have the freedom to choose. And on that note, I'm going to bid you farewell until the next video. I hope this resonates with people. And if it does, please give it a like, thumbs up. Please feel free to leave comments. If there's any questions anybody has, if you'd like to ask them, I'll do my best to share my experience or perspective. It may or may not be of benefit to you. I trust that it will be. But as always, with everything I say and do, it's take what resonates for you and leave the rest. Because not everything is for everyone. And this is where it's tune in, trust how you feel, and take what resonates and feels right for you. And leave the rest. You don't have to give it your focused attention if there's something that's not for you and not resonating with you. Just take your focus away from it and focus instead on all the things that uplift you. And that will keep that infinite flow of abundance coming to you. But you get to choose which wolf you feed. Oh, you're welcome, Eve. And thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully see you again soon. Actually, I was telling you about the fairy forts. I've discovered there's 3 around me within walking distance, and I've been to visit one, and it was just magical. Such a beautiful experience, and I was welcomed in. I have visited another one, but didn't feel the call to come in. But it's wonderful to be around these ancient dwellings. And for some, the She, like many people in rural Ireland believe the She moved into those old rats or forts, ring forts. And, I'm inclined to agree, because for some of them, you really do feel there's just this sense of magical energy. But even the ones that don't have that, they also have the ancient ancestor energy. Like, these are thousands and thousands of years old. And I'm just really enjoying exploring that at the moment. So I'll let you know how that goes, Eve. I'm still, waiting to cross paths with people that might have some local knowledge that I can learn and get some more information. But I shall let you know when I do. Anyway, on that note, thank you for being here, ladies. See you soon. Bye.